What's going on, my trainer club? Today I'm going to help you check out the best of the best for the entire community today in Pokemon Go to make sure you know exactly what the best Pokemon are to power up and to use your Stardust. So welcome to the trainer club. Here we go! Welcome back, everybody. Let me know in the comments below. Do you know what you're doing? Do you know exactly which Pokemon you're going to be powering up in Pokemon Go and where each one of these Pokemons are going to sit in their rankings for the top attackers in the game? Because today we are doing the best of the best series for the community days to make sure you guys know exactly what's coming, exactly what to do, and exactly what to power up and use your resources to. So we're going to check it out right now. So if you guys are new to this channel or you haven't been here before for one of my best of the best series, you can watch this. But if you have and you already know what's coming, you could definitely check my pinned comments below so you can skip into the stats, right into the stats. But now we're going to check out the DPS times TDO overall. We're going to skip over the DPS and the TDO because although it's really useful stats, we have a lot of different categories that we're going to cover, and usually we go into that in detail for one specific Pokemon, not like 15 different Pokemon. So today we're looking at DPS times TDO, which means DPS is like for one hit using the stab effectiveness, which is going to be same type attack bonus, how much damage can we do for that Pokemon? So if it's a fire type Pokemon using a fire type move, we're going to get a bonus for that. TDO is going to be total damage output, which stands for when you're going to be using this Pokemon over the lifespan, what is going to be how much damage can it output. Like think of like a Lugia, it's really TDO focused. A lot of damage over the lifespan because it's a pretty tanky type Pokemon. And then we have DPS times TDO, which combines these two, and it's going to average out and be the best analytical statistic that we have to be able to judge what are the best Pokemon to use. So now we're going to get into the DPS times TDO, checking out these Pokemon, what is going to be the best of the best in Pokemon Go. Let's check it out right now. So as far as the normal type attackers, we have the Meloetta, which is going to be the pirouette form, quick attack, hyper beam, the #1 overall double DPS times TDO with the double normal type movesets 2728. And then we have a Meloetta as well. And then we have the Ambipom, which is going to be Scratch Hyper Beam at 603. Notice how big of a drop it is from that Meloetta all the way to the Ambipom. It's quite significant. Then we have Blissey with the Pound Hyper Beam combination at 479. And then we have the Community Day move, Slaking, Yawn, Body Slam, 468. The one benefit about this moveset is that it is pretty spammy. It gets off pretty often. So putting it in gyms is kind of a little bit more of a nuisance than it is actually effective because the Slaking gets pretty high up there. But then if we're looking at the normal type attackers, you have to take into account the Giga Impact on the Regigigas, which is going to be the best overall. However, it doesn't get the double normal type moveset. It actually has Zen Headbutt and then Giga Impact at 3200 DPS times TDO, which is going to be super impactful. As far as the normal type attackers, unfortunately, Yawn really hinders the amount of damage that this Pokemon can do because it's so high up there in the CP that it just kind of like makes it really weird. So this is what we're going to do as far as the normal type attackers. I mean, yeah, you can evolve it, get it up there. You can put it in gyms pretty easily, but it's not the most effective Pokemon out there. It's definitely not really going to do too much craziness. Vigoroth, as far as PvP goes, is definitely going to be the win for the Slaking. So next, we are going to check out the Fairy type attackers and where does it sit as far as Fairy type attackers. And later, we will check out for the DPS times TDO in the fighting type. But right now, we're checking out Fairy as far as the Gardevoir goes. Let's check it out. So the #1 overall Fairy type attacker, we are going to check out the Togekiss Charm Dazzling Gleam at 1394 DPS times TDO. And in second, very close, we have the Gardevoir Charm Dazzling Gleam at 1322, which is going to be neither Community Day moves. You can get it just by evolving it, but you're going to want to focus on getting some of the candy and then ranking up some of your Fairy type attackers, even though there are a lot more effective attackers out there. Also, we have, if you want to check out the Granbull, Charm Play Rough is going to really decrease about 500 DPS times TDO below the Gardevoir and the Togekiss at 870. So there's a big gap differential with the Togekiss and the Gardevoir compared to other Fairy type attackers in the game. So as far as the Ralts goes, using it as a Gardevoir is definitely going to be a big win. You can evolve any of them into the Gardevoir. However, if you want to get a Gallade, you need a Male and a Sinnoh Stone, which we'll check out a little bit later as far as the fighting type attackers and where the Synchronoise sits as far as the Psychic type attackers goes as well. So it's going to be on the Gardevoir as well as the Gallade, but fortunately we have the Gardevoir that sits as the top 2 fairy type attackers without needing any of these movesets. So now on Community Day would be a great time to stock up on candy to make sure you have enough Ralts candy for the future if we ever need a double weakness in a fairy type attacker, so that we can exploit the weakness here with the prevalence of the Ralts, because Togetic candy is not the most prevalent. Which then leads us to the flying type attackers, and I know that a lot of these Pokemon aren't specific flying type, but I did want to include it because Salamence and Dragonite and Charizard all have flying type abilities, so we might as well check out the top flying type attackers in the game right now to see if Dragonite is going to be worth your time. So if we're checking out the DPS times TDO, I just want to mention that we can't include only fast and charge move flying type attacks because Dragonite does not get a charge move that is a flying type move. So the best flying, all flying type is going to be Wing Attack, Sky Attack, Moltres, 2503, and then if you're going to use another attack, Fire Spin, Sky Attack, 2742 as the Moltres overall. Super, super effective. And then if we want to check out the Dragonite with the Dragon Tail Hurricane combination, 2124, is going to be pretty effective actually. And then it's actually going to be above the Rayquaza with the Dragon Tail Aerial Ace at 2103. And Dragonite with the Dragon Breath Hurricane is going to be 1823. So if you did check out my updated video on PvP moves that just came out, I mentioned that the Dragon Tail is going to be a little bit more effective on the Dragonite than the Dragon Breath is, which is pretty effective for the flying type moves. Like I said, unfortunately, it doesn't get double flying type moves, and it's not a Community Day move, so you can get it regardless, but I just wanted to cover it anyways. Next, we're going to check out the dark type attackers to see where the dark type attackers sit in Pokemon Go. So let's check this out, dark type attackers right now. We obviously know the top dark attacker is going to be the Darkrai with the Snarl Dark Pulse at 2203, and then Feint Attack Dark Pulse at 1943. Then we have the Hydreigon at Bite Dark Pulse at 1636, and then we have Tyranitar, which is a Community Day Pokemon that we're going to be able to hatch and raid for with the Bite Crunch combination, 1535. Pretty effective, pretty common counter that we're going to be able to use. And then if we want to go for the Umbreon, we're really going to have to go down there. We have the Snarl Foul Play at 236. No commas in there, just 236, really, really far down there. It's definitely going to be more of a PvP type Pokemon, and it's really going to hold some weight in PvP in the top 25 attackers. But as far as the top attackers raid purposes go, it doesn't hold any weight at all. So Tyranitar, if you didn't get a chance to raid for the Darkrai, is a pretty good dark type attacker, and it definitely is going to be pretty available, and it doesn't need a Community Day move if you're going to use it. And if you want an all dark type attacker, you're going to have to TM away Smackdown, which you may do, you may not do, or you may have both, right? So definitely stack up on the eggs, maybe do some raids for the Tyranitar, and get your dark type up. Next, we're going to check out the steel type Pokemon. So here we go, steel type Pokemon, because we have the Metagross with the Meteor Mash from the Beldum, which is going to be pretty impactful. Let's check it out right now. Checking out these steel type attackers, we have the Metagross, Bullet Punch, Meteor Mash, 3615. Wow. DPS times TDO overall, that was the top in the game until the buff came to the Psychic and we got the Psy Strike for the Mewtwo. Then we have Dialga, Metal Claw, Iron Head at 2243, so the Meteor Mash Metagross is significantly better than the legendary Pokemon because it actually is a pseudo-legendary, meaning it acts and has stats like a legendary, but it's not a legendary. Then we have Excadrill with the Metal Claw, Iron Head at 1445, and then if you want to check out the Metagross, this is why the Community Day moves on some Pokemon are so impactful. Bullet Punch Flash Cannon, 1169, which is 2,500 points below the Meteor Mash moveset where the Community Day moves. So the other one I did want to point out for you guys is going to be Aggron. I see some people powering up the Aggrons. I know they look really cool, but Iron Tail Heavy Slam, 771. It's really not the most effective attacker in the game by any means. I would highly suggest steering away from using Stardust and Candy towards the Aggron, even though it looks cool and looks like it could be a top attacker. As far as the Beldum goes, man oh man, that Meteor Mash is a crazy powerful moveset. Definitely one of the top in the game and one that I highly suggest you guys check out. Power up, get as many as you possibly can, and you can always lucky trade them later, even if it doesn't have the best IVs. Just get one that's high CP so you can utilize it, because it's not the most effective in the PvP system, but as far as the top attackers go, man oh man, that is one powerful steel type attacker. So definitely something you want to check out. Now we're going to check out the fighting type attackers, which is really cool because the Aurora Sphere really buffed up the Lucario. Oh my goodness, I was not expecting the buff that we were going to get on that. It is going to be, which you'll see in a second, and I'm not going to give it away. We're going to check it out right now. So Lucario sitting at the #1 spot for the fighting type attackers just as of yesterday with counter and Aura Sphere is going to be 2480.6. Holy smokes, it's going to be above the Conkeldurr with the counter dynamic punch at 2401, which is absolutely crazy significant, guys. That is insane. Machamp also with the counter dynamic punch is 1851, so it is significantly lower than the new Lucario moveset, which is absolutely crazy. Super awesome, really like it. I'm really liking the switch up in the movesets. And then if you want to check out the Blaziken, which is going to be a Community Day Torchic Pokemon, doesn't have the moveset, but it's going to be counter Focus Blast at 1252. And then also if you want to check out the Gallade with the low kick close combat combination, 761. And then also if you guys wanted to check out and I'm pausing for a second on purpose, the Infernape Rock Smash Close Combat 477 compared to 2400 with the Lucario. So it is a Community Day Pokemon, but as a fighting type Pokemon, it does not do any weight, it doesn't hold any damage. Unfortunately, these fighting type Pokemon do not compare to the Lucario, the Machamp, and the Conkeldurr, which is not out yet, but at some point it will be. But the Lucario, man oh man, what a Pokemon. May suggest you guys start doing a little bit of lucky trades for that, because it's a rare Pokemon to hatch and it's really impactful as far as fighting goes. And if you get it as a lucky, you can power it up with a lot less Stardust. So really, really impactful right there. Wow. Unfortunately, the Community Day Pokemon don't hold too much weight in the fighting type attackers, but the Lucario, woo, got a significant boost. So it's definitely a Pokemon that I would suggest start trying to get more of, trying to get good ones. Use those Adventure Sync egg pools with the limited to try to walk 50 kilometers and get more of those Pokemon. Highly suggest you guys do that. Really, really effective. And now the top #1 fighting attacker in the game, which is absolutely insane. I did not expect that at all. We are going to take a break right here because we have a lot of categories to cover. I want you guys to make sure you have all of the information. So we are going to have part 2 coming out for you tomorrow. So make sure to stay tuned. Make sure to hit that like and subscribe button. And thank you guys for tuning in. As always, I appreciate all you guys for being here. I'll see you guys out here tomorrow for checking out more Best of the Best.
I just want to take a moment and sincerely thank all of my Patreon members, everybody that has taken their subscription to the next level and chosen to support me on this platform. I greatly appreciate you guys. As a growing channel and really trying to grow and improve as much as I possibly can, I really appreciate the extra support. You guys mean the absolute world to me. I cannot wait to connect with you soon, and I appreciate you guys all for being a part of the Trainer Club. I will see you guys out on the next video.